Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome back to Terminus Zombie Survivors. Now, this is going to be the third official run I am going to try at this challenge. We're going to be doing it with the same situation we had before. We are going to be running it on the out of stock scenario. We're going to be doing it with Stanley the soldier. We're going to keep the observation at 1, agility 1 and dexterity 1. And we're going to be using clairvoyance again. We're also going to be using quiet again. And we're also going to be using the vegetarian trait. So these are the same conditions we set under run 2. Now, run 2 did fail at the very end of it. So if you haven't watched that, it is on the channel. Even if I had done everything perfect at the time, it was about a 50% success rate because we didn't get lucky with the drops I needed to make a run like that. So we are going to be doing it on Permadeath, we're going to be doing it on Apocalypse, and I am going to be doing it as a solo person. Now, for anybody that's not aware, the out of stock scenario, 90% of furniture's broke at all locations. That's special places, so only really houses are a viable solution for you to do any sort of looting. Now, the 10% increase rate to the houses, you don't notice it, to be quite honest. Now, with the clairvoyance trait, we will be able to see what's in containers before we actually go to open up a container. So I think I'm happy with all them settings. Anybody that's watched the previous ones will know my sort of style. Now, the big things we need at the very start is we need a street map. In the last run, it took us forever to get one. We need to get an hammer. If we can't get an hammer, we need to be able to get stones to make an hammer, because without that, we cannot repair doors and windows just in case we fall onto a special tile at night. So there's a couple of crucial things. There's the same things as usual. We need our food. We need our water. So we are starting in an house. You always start at the 6 a.m. Sunsets at 8 p.m. That's how it is at the start of the game. And the longer in the game you go, the shorter the days become. So immediately around us, we have got 4 containers and 2 pieces of wood on the floor. We've got 2 doors, one going to the south and one going to the east. We've got a couple of windows up towards the north. Now, we do need to be checking tiles, see if we can have cars on there. We didn't find a car in the last run, so maybe we can find one to make this a little easier this run. And crops. For anybody that didn't see the last, it did save the last run. Okay, we've got a desk to the right of us. There's a lantern in there we definitely need to pick up because we need some sort of light source. Some ammunition's fine if we can find a gun to go with that. And tapes are extremely useful because you can use them to make some makeshift armor. And again, that did save us in the last run as well. So that is a good protection to get. A couple of planks on the floor. We will be picking those up because it is a way of making spears, because we're starting off with no weapons at the start of this run. In the bookcase to the left, there is a book in there. We could do really going to check that because that book could be absolutely anything. Getting something like Night Eyes early in a 2-hour run will definitely help us out if we have to do night combat. So that'll be definitely worth picking up. We've got a couch, which we're not going to need to use, but there's some nice medicine in there. Good way to get HP back. And a lighter, which is a good way to start a fire if we need to do cooking. In the south, there's a novel, there's an hoodie, and a fanny pack. Fanny packs aren't great bags. It basically reduces 2 kilo down to 1 kilo, but adds encumbrance. So I'm not a big fan of fanny packs, and a lot of the time I do break them down into cloth. Hoodie would be very useful because at the moment we'll have no clothes. And the novel, that'll be a good way of getting our morale back. Now, one of the big conditions with this run that makes it difficult. So we start off with a knife, but we are going to be needing that for spears, so we don't really want to use that with combat unless we have no other option. But that plank is definitely going to be useful. On the first night, we'll craft some spears. So we already knew what was in here. And the good thing with the clairvoyance is, if an item hasn't got anything useful to me, I can save AP, but not by not going there. But definitely that lantern's useful. Unfortunately, in our situation, that lantern has no charge on there. So unless I find some batteries, it's not that great. I might break it down. Electronic component, which can be used to make makeshift lighters. But we've already picked up a lighter, or we're going to be picking one up in a minute. We've also got bandage and wood glue. Now, wood glue with the tape is a good way to make a repair kit. And the bandage definitely useful to stop any bleeds when getting. So are we going to get lucky with the book? What we've got? Pathfinder, not really. Well, we are going to have to travel to a lot of zones because we are doing a Terminus run on this one. So yeah, it could be useful. It's not the books I would be looking for this early on. Fast Learner, Night Eyes, those are the best ones. So again, we're just picking up some stuff. We're down at 0.9. But one of the big issues we're going to get in this run is cloth. Because we're not allowed to kill any zombies. Because we're doing a full passive run on here to get to Terminus. And that's what makes this challenge so hard with the out of stock scenario. So go and pick up this other wood. Those 2 pieces of wood can be turned into a spear tonight. So I'm going into... This door leads into another room, so let's go into here. Let's have a look what's in here. Vitamin drink's great. Great way to get energy back. Crafting recipe could be anything, so we could do with checking it, and the book could be anything. So let's see if we get lucky. Crafting book, advanced repair kit. That's a very good recipe. Now, we would need a lot of tape and a lot of glue to be able to make that. But that gives you 10 charges. Now, we are a Dex... I think we're a Dex 0 or Dex 1. So we won't get that much use out of an advanced repair kit. But 10 free charges could easily be an extra 10, 15, 20 attacks. Depending on the weapon. And the energy drink will save us from sleeping. In case we fall onto a special tile at night, we can continue to push through. As long as we've got some sort of light source. So what's in the refrigerator? Ground meat. Now, we can get round with the diseases. There is ways. I've done it in previous runs. You can eat the meat about 3 hours before you sleep at night. You will pop a disease, then you sleep the disease off, and it's a way that you can get your 10 satiety back. It normally does mean that you will get a net positive. So we've got an exit to our right-hand side. But we want to keep going north. So dangerous place is not in a great place again. Same with the last run. We would rather have them all bunched up on one side of the map to give us clear run. So we've got one route between the 2 dangerous places on the right-hand side. We could go up. And we've got one round the left-hand side, which is the 2 safest routes. But again, without a street map, we can't plan our run. So we're relying a bit on luck. Now, we could do with trying to find a northern exit out here. Because to get to Terminus, it's going to be at the north of the map. We just don't know where it is. We also did fall very unlucky on the last one. So we have got an exit to the south. Again, not the way I want to be going. Neither one of them exits. So I need to find something out the left or the top of the map. We are pretty low on AP as well. So we don't go too far because you can have zombies on your first tile. We're going to get 11.5 on the following turn. Brilliant. We're back up to 16 now. We've got options. Now, our satiety is at 22 at the moment, so we don't desperately need to eat the meat. But like I said, I am willing to make that as an option if we don't find food. Because if you don't have any satiety, you will take constant damage. So we've got another southern exit, not helpful. We've got one out to the left, which is a bit more helpful. I still would love one out the top, so I'm just moving small little spaces. Brilliant. There it is. We've got a top exit. Now, the spaces we've uncovered up in the top right, I don't think there's going to be a car there. It's a car, you can normally see a corner edge if there was one going to be there. So I think I'm safe to move on. We're at 4.1, so we don't have enough AP to move on at the moment. And we still haven't managed to find any stones at all, but we did manage to get a tape. And we did manage to get a plank. So we do have an option to make the stone hammer if we could find some stones. I would suggest not using your tape for the stone hammer and instead just get some cloth, break them down into thread. But again, cloth is going to be a big issue in this run. We do have our wooden spear recipe there. We can make a wooden needle. But if you are going to make a wooden needle, I would suggest you break the plank into 2 sticks. That way you can make 2 needles from 1 plank. So past the turn, we're up to 15.6. It's going to cost us 9 to zone. Gives us 6.7 to use on the other side. We don't know what tile we're going into because we haven't been lucky with a street map. And we have found another house. So that's good for us looting opportunities. Now we're up to 11 o'clock. We've got another 9 hours before nightfall. So if we're quick on this tile, we might be able to go over. Okay, decayed zombies are not what I want to be seeing now. Because decayed zombie, if I don't tack it at a diagonal, I will guarantee to get a disease. And unfortunately, the only weapon I've got at the moment is a knife, which can only do attacks in a straight line. So I've got no way of really dealing with that guy. So I'd rather just avoid him, get in the building, and get away from him. Because he doesn't have much movement, so that's great. It gives us options. We do have a door to exit in the north, a window to exit if we need to, and there's also a room to the south of us. So what have we got? Some fresh meat in there, that's good, and another vitamin drink, that's good. Weak medicine as well. We didn't get many HP items in the previous run, so finding some early is fantastic. And finding a second energy drink, not only will it give us hydration, it will also help us with energy. At the very start of the game, we will have a problem with our sleep quality until we can find either a pillow or blanket or a chair to sleep on. We won't be getting much sleep back for every AP we spend or every turn we pass at night. So let's head down to the safe and let's see what's in this room. There's a sofa there. Beer. Yep, beers can be good. Salts can be adding morale to a meal. Not something that's going to be extra useful at the moment. Now, the decay, we've got a zombie next to us, a rotten zombie. We cannot... a gas lighter and a lantern. Now, both those would be absolutely fantastic for us. But we've got no gloves. So we're guaranteed to get a disease if we do that. Now, we do have a couple options. We could loot the item, sleep for 6 hours. That will guarantee to get rid of the disease. But at this point, we will lose too much daylight. We need to get food and water, so we might just have to pass it up. Oh, some crops to the north. That's fantastic. Crafting book, wooden arrows, snare traps, hammer. Hammer's a very good recipe, as I said. We need an hammer to be able to repair doors and windows. Now, that will require, I think it's either 10 or 15 steel. We have showed ways in previous runs, like the refrigerator. If we had an axe, we could break the refrigerator down. That will give us steel sheets. And then we can break the steel sheets down to give us scrap steel. And that's a fast way of making an hammer. But unfortunately, we've got no axes at the moment, so that's not an option to us. So we've got lucky with some of the drawers we've got at the moment. But also a little unlucky because we haven't got the tools to make the best use out of some of this stuff we're finding, like the rotten corpse, the fridge, breaking it down. Flashlight, okay, brilliant. This is what I wanted. 7 turns. So we can actually do night combat now. So it does make that rotten zombie a little less attractive now. Might as well pick up the planks because we're going to be needing them to craft spears. We might as well set up the first recipe now, but we won't be crafting them until tonight. Now, unfortunately, making the spears will use the condition off our knife. So we do need to find more knives if we want to keep making spears for combat. Let's go back and pick up the scrap plastic because that can be useful in certain recipes. No cars on this map, but definitely we need to collect this food before we consider moving on. And we have got a northern exit. Well, we've got 2. One straight ahead, which is going to take us closer. Sort of between the gap between those 2 dangerous places on the right of the map. Okay, we got unlucky with that one. It's not harvestable yet. And we can't tell if it's harvestable until we check it. 2 on that one. Vegetables, because I've got the vegetarian trait, will give us a good amount of morale back. Makeshift armor, that saves us having to craft one now. Still probably going to end up crafting them, because that is just basically going to block 1 attack. Whether that attack is 1 damage or 20 damage, it will block it. So that can save us our life. So we did need to go and pick that up. And can we get the tomatoes? Brilliant. So that gives us food, water, and morale for a little bit. We don't need to resort to eating the diseased meat at the moment. And we do have a lighter, but unfortunately we can't do any cooking because we haven't found a pot or a pan yet. And you need one of those two to be able to do the majority of the cooking. Some of them only can take a certain one. A lot of recipes can use either now. They did change that in the 1.1 update. So 3 satiety, 2 hydration, and because of the vegetarian trait, we're going to get 3 morale. Always use your food with the lowest timers on. So 124, that's 5 days. And the other one's got about 6 days on there. So we'll be using it long before then. But our morale's now capped. And capped up morale will give you more AP. So now instead of 11.5, we're going to get 12.7 on the next turn. Which is fantastic. AP is key in this game. Okay, one of the crops we couldn't harvest. And there's no space around the map where a car could be. So I'm pretty happy that we've done as much as we can in this tile. Ooh, a stone. I did say how important them are. We're going to have to pick it up. Okay, we're down to 8 AP now, so we haven't got enough to zone because it needs 9. But we get 12.4, so I'm going to lose 1 AP unless I spend something. So I might as well start spending it on the ammo book. Just the 1. That will give us about 19.4 on the next turn. Nearly full AP bars of where I like to be when I zone through. So in case there is a zombie, I can move out of its range. Again, we got quite lucky. No zombies in our immediate vicinity. It is a church, so looting opportunities are not really going to be a good thing here. Still not got a street map, so we are still running blind at the moment. Let's get some more AP. We've got 3 hours. I don't want to move too far, too fast. Because, again, if we run into a group of zombies, we need a way to get out of it. It's not worth going in the building to get the plank when there's a zombie right there, because we will have to do combat. Now, because we can't kill zombies, don't mean we can't attack them. We can take the legs out, which will reduce a lot of zombies' movement to 1. And we can also take the bodies out, which can reduce their attack to 0. We've only 3 hours left. Yeah, we've decided to go onto the tile previously. It's just not worth trying to go further past the church, so we'll retreat on this one. Now, unfortunately, some of the windows are broken in the northern room, so the southern room, or the room to the left, is the best of the rooms for us to be able to stop in. Our zombie kills are still at 0, so that's fine. We've not been in combat yet. We are going to have to break down the hoodie for some cloth to be able to cover the windows more likely than nothing. But there is a sofa there, so we can get a better sleep quality. We could also check the rotten zombie if we're going to be sleeping here. And get a disease, then sleep the disease off. Now, we have still got that decayed zombie on the map, but he can only move 1 tile. And as long as he doesn't see us emptying the building, because of our quiet trait, it does mean zombies are less likely to track you in buildings at night. Now there's a nimble zombie on the map, which is not good for us. But at least we can attack this with a knife if we desperately need to. Not good for us because nimble zombies have such a movement range, which can be deadly in the early game. Fortunately, the knife quality is poor, so it will take a lot of durability loss from me doing this combat, and now we've spotted a second one. Not great. We should have waited for that zombie to come to us. Let's take out his body. Now his attack is down to 0. He can't do anything. And he can't bang on the windows, which is more important. Move out of range of the second zombie. Let him come to us. Now, the one thing you do have to watch out is if you don't take the zombie's legs out, they can be into a situation where they block all your exits. And then you have to spend a cloth to move the heads out of the way for us to get through. Hydration's getting a bit low, so we might just have to end up using one of those energy drinks. Hydration caps at 18. The energy drink gives us 10, so we won't be using it right this second. So this guy's going to come up to us because he's already seen us. And we'll do the same again. We're going to attack him and take out his body. I want to try and get as least amount of attacks out of this knife as possible. And if we close the window, because they've got 0 attack, they can't break the window and get into us. Now, we did pick up a spraying getting for that window, which is not good. We got very lucky in the last run where we didn't pick up many sprains coming in and out of windows. But we're not getting lucky on this one. What is this? 3 tiles in and we've already got one, so yeah. Bit unlucky with that one. Unfortunately, we are going to have to break down the hoodie. We need cloth to cover up the windows. And yeah, because we're about to sleep anyway, we might as well take the light. So 9 charge and a gas lantern is fantastic. We also need lighters if we pick up cigarettes and 5 turns on a lantern. Definitely worth it. Now, I do have 2 diseases on me at the moment, so I do need probably about 12 hours sleep to be able to proc both those diseases off, because they only get rid of them one at a time. That window is broken, so it's not the safest place in the world to stop. But we definitely need to craft this spear. Yeah, I think I need to go and cover that window. Okay, we just wasted a bit of AP, and because of the spraying, we cost him 50% more to move. Spend our AP on the spear. Next turn, we should have finished that spear. We'll keep the empty bottles at the moment, because they are useful if we find a park, because dirty water we can cook into clean. Let's spend our AP. Oh no, we need to pass a turn. We do know there's a Decayed still to the north, so I am a little worried about him still. Because he could only move 1 tile at a time, it would take him about 12 hours to get to us. Let's use the rest. So now we have a spear, we can do diagonal attacks, and we have a weapon. Unfortunately, we didn't pick up an axe, so we can't break furniture. And we didn't pick up a second plank, so we can't do a second spear. But we'll break down that lantern. Because we've got 2 torches now, we don't need that lantern. It's just going to take weight. Our AP is up to 1.3 now. And again, some of that is going to be because of the spraying. I think we're just going to have to put the bag on. I'm not a big fan of them. Hasn't really done that much for us, but it's better than nothing. We didn't get lucky with a backpack on the previous run either. And that is something I hope we get better luck on this one. If you can find something like a tactical backpack or an hiking backpack and something like a duffel bag, then you're set for the run. Let's put some more AP into the recipe. Unfortunately, the hammer is the 3rd recipe in that book, so we do need to spend a lot to get to the hammer recipe. And we've got no scrap steel anyway, so we can't craft it. But we need to keep our options open. And we need to get rid of these diseases, so let's sleep off the first one. So it's going to take 6 hours, so it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. The first disease will go off, which it looks like it's going to get rid of the spraying before the disease. So there it is, 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, it actually recovered both. It's if you've got multiple diseases, the stack, but if you've got different ailments, it only still takes the 6 hours. I did forget that. But our energy's maximum, our morale's maximum, so it is going to give us more AP. And we're just spending it onto the book because we want to get that ammo recipe as soon as possible. Still another hour before morning. I could do with saving some AP this time and try and move with full AP on the next turn. We could really do with collecting that cloth off the window as well. Spend some more on the hammer. Brilliant. Now we've got the recipe for the hammer. We can dump the book. We don't need it. We might be doing trading, but recipe books don't trade much. It's the skill books where you want to keep it. And we definitely want to be getting the advanced recipe. The advanced repair kit recipe, because that could be extra useful to us. Do have some fruit and veg at the top. We might just end up doing it. But I will be wasting... So if I use it now, I will be wasting it because our morale is already capped. And morale can become an issue in the early game. So yeah, their ammo recipe was 15 scrap metal as I thought it was. Planks and sticks are in abundance, so that's not an issue. And it takes 60 amount of work, and with a deck 0, that would take quite a bit of time for us to craft one of those. But it would be very useful if we can get an hammer. Now, a stone hammer loses 10% condition every time you use it. I think it's only like 5% on a normal hammer, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And we need to go back to the zone point. We know the church is up there. We could go out to the left-hand side. Maybe we could get lucky with an house. Yeah, we'll go out that side. Okay, immediately I've got a skull zombie to the south, but we did leave enough AP to get straight out. That's why we saved some on the previous turn. So again, we have fell onto another house, so that's fantastic. Another looting opportunities. And now we have got a spear if we needed to combat. Now, we could do is stopping on this square, because if you're on a zone point square, nobody can zone through, and we're still at 0 zombie kills, so that's great. We are cold, but we had to break down that hoodie, and we didn't stop to take off the cloth. But if we had have done that, we would have had problems with zombies. So we are taking 0.3 health damage a turn, but we have got some medicines to deal with that if we need to. But the cold doesn't normally stop that long at this early in the game. Got a bit unlucky with that one with a zombie the other side of the window, and we got even more unlucky with that big guy. He's got 26 on his bodies. We need to get out of range of this guy because he's deadly. Picking up more planks for more spears would definitely be useful. Got some cloth up to the north. Got a fresh sandwich in there. That would be definitely great. And some clean water and a cigarette, which is a good way to get morale back. So yeah, we definitely want to be looting these items. Okay, it wasn't a full bottle, but it's good enough. And we come to our first skill up. So Ariadne's thread will allow us to travel to a zone we've previously been for 50% cost. We want to keep traveling north. We don't want to keep going back, so it's not useful. Head strike is just more damage if you're hitting heads, but unfortunately with this run, we can't hit heads because it will kill zombies. So basically, head strike is no good to us. Ariadne's thread is not that useful because we don't really want to be backtracking. So the only real one I can take here is 50% more melee attack damage. Most our attacks will be melee. The chances of getting a lot of guns in a small run like this is going to be very remote. Brilliant. Now, that is our class skill. That's always going to be available. The other two is a random choice of what you're going to get there. Go and pick up the cloth. And let's go and pick up the sandwich. That will get our food sorted without having to worry about too much of the morale issue. Wasting morale. Okay, there is 5 morale on the sandwich, but it will give us some satiety. We need to take it at this point. We need to start recouping that HP loss. And we need the water as well. So having full water will give us 0.5 HP a turn, and having full satiety will also do the same. So we will counteract any damage we've took. There is a couch in the next zone, a beer and a lantern. Again, very useful. We've got a jacket and a nudgy there because we're cold. We definitely could do with picking that up. And we've got a weak medicine and a pillow in the south. So everything in all 3 of them is very useful. It might be worth just taking the zombie. Pass a turn. See what he does. Because the zombie seen us outside last turn, he was attacking the window. Now this big guy's coming, but he hasn't seen me. But as soon as I move, he will. Now the zombie turned around, he's seen me. So we really need to be closing this door as we go through. There is a survivor there. We will not be picking them up in this run. But unfortunately, that survivor is now blocking one of the access to one of the lootable objects. And we can't move as an NPC out the way, unfortunately. Would be nice if there was an option for us to swap places. But with that big guy around us, we need to go and lead him outside. If we go for that door, we're as good as dead. So go and pick up the steel because we need them to craft the hammer. And it's one of these where I think I'm just going to call quits on it. We do have a northern exit, which would have been the next tile if we had continued from the church. We have one out to the left. I really want to be going between the gap between those two, so that northern exit would be my way of getting out. I'm just a bit worried about this big zombie. Let's just zone. We've got our lantern covered, so we don't need to go after that beer. Yeah, there was a couple of bits of loot there which could have been good, but we want to keep moving while we got daylight. Okay, we got a zombie immediately, what was in vicinity of us, which is always bad. He did manage to get an attack, which the makeshift armor did stop the attack. So now we don't have that makeshift armor anymore. We could do with getting another one. Got debris, we can get through it with our bare hands, but without a shovel, it's not worth going through one of them. There's a rag inside the building, which would be great to pick up, but it's not worth it with that zombie right there. Dirty water is something we can use and take a disease from, or we could cook it up into good. So definitely worth picking up. Let's try and get out of the range of this guy. So he's only got one movement, so he can't get to me this turn, and the next turn I'll have enough AP to zone through. Morale's doing okay. We could take an onion, which will give us 3 morale. Cap the morale again. Gives us a little bit more AP on the next turn. Got 6 turns on the meat. Because we have got some food, we don't desperately need to be taking that. Up to 19.2 now on our AP. I'm right at the zone point. And because it's a special tile, it's not going to have much loot for us. So it's one of them tiles I just want to run through. It is worth just having a look, putting our cursor over the building, out of the things. Make sure none of them's got like a street map, because that really will change our run. Fell onto another house, so again, another good looting opportunity here. And we're actually doing pretty good. We're about a third up onto the map already. Okay, that wasn't the right way to go. We've just managed to walk straight into 2 zombies. Luckily, the first one doesn't have enough range. And if we move 1 tile, we can get out to range of the other guy. So let's go back to the zone point so nobody can follow us through. The zombies that are seeing us will come down to the south and to where we are now. And then we could probably run round the zombies and get out of their range. So coming up the right of the building would be the right call. So let's move north. We've still got 14 AP if we did come across a zombie, which we have. Not getting too much luck at the moment with the amount of zombies. It can get a lot worse than this, a lot faster. I've seen it with a dozen zombies on a tile. So we're actually getting fairly good with only like 3 or 4 on a tile. But this guy, we really want to be taking his body out. It will take his attack down to 0. Doesn't matter what range he's got then. Our weapon would do 2.9 to 3.5 because of our boost on our class skill. We could take his body out. We could just run around him. Yeah, let's not waste the AP on attacking things we don't need to. Because it's not just about the AP, it's about the condition loss on the weapons is what I'm thinking of more. So we've got a guidebook and a pamphlet. Guidebooks could be useful, but I'm going to give me special tiles. They're more useful to show me where the special tiles are so we can avoid more than me going to them. So normally in a run like this, if you want axes, you will go to a fire station. If you want tools, you'll go to an hardware store. If you want to find your radio to find out where Terminus is, you go to electronic stores. Just not an option in a run like this because those special places haven't got that loot anymore. Cooking pamphlet could be really good. One of the best recipes in the game is the army base stew. You need ramen and you need some canned stuff as well to make that, but it's... You make one of them, you're set on food for 2 to 3 days. Okay, we're seeing combat to the north of us. So that means there's going to be a survivor in there or some sort of NPC. Could be a pickpocket. There's some good loot in that safe one. So what have we got? Nothing in the dresser, so we don't need to waste AP on there. We've got a jacket and a pillow to the south. And we've got a pair of pliers. Now, we are going to be needing pliers. Slingshots are never really used, but without an IA agility build, they're not really useful. We'll just take Edge's body. It's 1 hit. And now he can't attack me because he's at 0 attack. Bones are very useful. You can make bone glue out of it. And you can also make a bone needle to repair gear. Yeah, jacket and pillar, definitely good because we're taking cold in the morning, so we need some sort of clothing. And jackets are very good because it does give a defense and a temperature bonus. Pliers, like I said, to get to Terminus, you've got to go for railway tiles, and you need the pliers to be able to break the Terminus fence. And those pliers are going to be haunting me after previous runs. So he has a lot of movement on the right-hand side. We know there's 3 down in the south. I should have picked up the plank while I was there, but our weight is quite high at the moment. Now, if the zombie was to take out this NPC in the north, that could give us a good opportunity for loot. So it's a risk worth taking. Now, 6.3, this zombie, we did have an option to take his body out earlier. I think I might just go through and just close the door on him. The door has 19 HP. I can never remember which characters are which, but I know the driver is a white-shirted guy, police officer. So I should have done with really closing that door. So we got fresh tomato and a towel, clean water and a Bible. Definitely need the clean water because we're nearly out of it. Bible is a good AP item, but it's very heavy. So while we've got a novel, we don't need it. Let's just take the water and make a run for it. Close the door behind us. It would be really good to get the loot off that survivor guy because he will have some good stuff on him. But there's just too much zombie tiles. Can we find a northern exit? Not at the moment. So at the moment, the only exits we've got is to the south. There's got to be one to the left or the right of the tile. There's got to be some sort of exit out of here. There's very few tiles you will find. Ah, there it is on the right-hand side. So we do have an exit, and it's still on the right side of the map, which looks like the cleanest route to get up north. It is 3 o'clock on the day, so we've got 5 hours before we've got to bed down. There is a rag in that room, which will be extremely useful. We've only got 1 on us. But it's not worth the risk with all them zombies there. Okay, we got lucky. We managed to find another house. We're probably going to have to bed down here tonight, because it's going to take us the best part of the 5 hours to clear it. We've got 1 turn on the fresh meat, so I've got to make the decision now. Am I going to use it or not? If I use it now, by about 6, 7 o'clock, the disease will proc. And then we could sleep early. Tense of satiety is too much to give up at this early stage. Now, if I take the second meat, both diseases will stack back to back. So the one will clear for 6 hours it takes to clear it. Then the second will proc. So I would need to sleep 12 hours if I was doing that. Got a good amount of water. So we've got 13 water left. You use 1 water per hour. So I've got 13 hours. So we're at 4 PM now. So we're looking about 5 AM in the morning. We have enough water to keep our hydration maxed. There is a stick on the floor that could be useful for a wooden needle. But not much good loot around us. I think I want to go and check the building. There is a broken window, so that's an easy way for us to get in the building. Oh, we've got another crop. Okay, it's only the 1 crop. But 1's better than none. There's a zombie in the building. And an NPC in there as well. So that zombie's probably going to fight the NPC. We've got the 2 planks, so we might as well set up another spear. Being as though we've got a little bit of extra AP coming into the next turn, we might as well spend some onto it now. So it's taken us about 30 AP to do a weapon, which is a big AP cost, but it's the only option I've got until I find some weapons. Now, that survivor did go out the northern window. So that means he has attracted the zombie away. Onion seeds, we won't be doing any growing, but it is still 0.5 satiety, so it's a good way to get satiety back still. Let's move away from this zombie. Let's have a look around, see if we can find another exit while he's chasing down the survivor. Okay, that's not great, but we have found our second stone. Now, we have got our spear, so we can attack at a diagonal. We'll take his body out. His attack power is now 0, so he's no threat to us. Just because they're no threat, they can still block up lootable objects, doors, windows, so you do have to be a little careful with that. Let's go and pick up the stone. We've got 2 hours, and there it is. The disease has popped at 6 PM like I thought it was. So we need to get down to sleeping now. Unfortunately, with this room we're going into... Oh, big boy at the top of decay 1. And we've got a zombie in there with 7. Now, we can take out the decayed now at a diagonal because we have got our spear. There isn't really many good options, but I would like to go and collect that wooden bat. Okay, it's locked, so that's not great for us. And now we've come across another big one. So there's 2 weapons up there. I really need to get them. I've got 12 AP, so I've got enough AP to do something about this. I need to take out the nimble. I can't take out the decayed from this slot because I will get a disease. And I've already got 1 disease on. Okay, nimbles do have a big dodge chance. So for me to take out the decayed, I've got to be at a diagonal. Let's pick up the bat while I'm here. And let's go down 1 square. That way I won't pick up an extra disease. Well, I could have done with that being hit in 1, but no, 2 hits we'll have to do. Knife spear, again, another weapon. Our weight is okay, 1.2 now. We got rid of the spraying from earlier, but none of those zombies around me can attack me. There's one in the building that can still attack me. He has made his way, or at least he's broke the window so we have an access into that room now. But I want him to come out that room so I can run round. What have we got? We've got a door over there. We've got a window. I'd rather go through the door, but windows are just so much quicker to get through. Okay, we have got another zombie. And we're going to have to do it because we are going into night. Let's have a look at some of these weapons we just picked up and just get them used. 3.7 to 4.5. 2 hits, it's guaranteed to take him out. Bat broke, but that's fine. That's what them's for. Throwaway weapons. Anything we'll pick up is probably going to be low quality. Let's close and cover the window. Now, we do have some broken windows in here, so if we close the door, stop towards the northern of the room, then we haven't got to worry about the sight issue with that window. What books? And crank generator. Machete spears are a very good weapon. I like using that a lot. And strong spirit. It's morale loss decrease. Let's see what's in this building over here. Okay, what's in here? Fishing rod and a small flashlight. Now, fishing rod is a good way to get food. Not guaranteed. And antibiotics is absolutely fantastic. So I'm glad I come down to the save to search these. Let's go and hide up in that little corner. Right up in the top left-hand square. Then anybody that comes to that broken window can't see us. And I don't think our quiet trait will work when there's a broken window. But let's spend some on that spear. Let's get another weapon ready. Now, 2 planks of wood does weigh 4 kilos. And a spear weighs 2.2. So until it's crafted, you don't get the benefit of the weight reduction. If it's partially crafted, it's still counted as raw materials. So it'll be still counting as 4. Morale's not looking great. We will have to sleep soon, but we have got that energy drink as a backup. We've still got fruit with like 4 or 5 days on them, so we're still pretty good. We do have a disease we need to sleep off for 6 hours. We don't need 10 satiety right now, so I'm not going to take the meat. It is very tempting though. Let's pass the turn, get some more AP back. Let's just blend everything on there. So now we've got another spear to use. We can start spending our AP back on the books. Not quite enough to get the advanced repair kit recipe yet. Let's sleep until our state is healed. So we're sleeping at 10 PM. So about 4 AM, is when the disease will go. Now, if you don't need energy and you say sleep until the disease is healed, it will allow you to sleep 6 hours. But as soon as your energy's full, you will wake up. So you see now at 3 o'clock my energy's full. I would have woke up. But because we're still clearing the disease, it allows me to sleep a little extra. So we should get a good amount of AP next turn. So let's spend it on the advanced repair kit. Screwdriver and a rake I don't need, so I'm not going to spend it on there. And I would like to get the machete spear. So let's get the crude arrow. Let's spend the rest on the machete spear. Okay, we didn't unlock it this turn. Let's pass another turn. Okay, it's light next turn, so I want to be full AP. So I've got about 7.4 I want to use this turn. I'll put 5 into the book and then I can dump the book. I don't need the crank generator. It's not something I really use. I know it can be very useful. We've got a throwaway spear there. It's going to be slightly better than the spears we've got. And then we can start spending whatever extra AP we've got onto a book. Out of the 2 books I've got, Morale Decrease and the Pathfinder. Probably the Pathfinder's the better of the books to use. But if I find a better book, I will be putting it into a different book. We do have ways to do our morale with the vegetarian trait, and we've also got a cigarette, which is 6 morale. So we've got a few options of getting morale back. There's some combat going on to the south. That's probably that NPC that was running around the map. But if he's attracting the zombies, then I'm happy with that. Not what I want to see. So right on the zone point where I need to be going, there's a sleeping zombie. So our only other option is going out to the right-hand side. So be it. If I'd have gone out the northern window, I would have woke that guy up, and he does have a massive movement. And even worse, we've got an armoured zombie. So he's got 10.6 HP on his attack, and then he's got 6 armour on top of that. So yeah, I'm just moving out of his range. I don't have enough AP to really do much on this turn. If he sees me and comes to the window, then the next turn I can run to the zone point. We do have some books. If I'd have thought about it, I could have put the tape with one of those crafting recipe books and made another makeshift armour. And because we got the gear on now, we're no longer getting that cold trait in the morning. Now, just to the south of us, you can see some pliers and some medicine. That's from the NPC. Now, he's blocked up the window. I'm going to have to go around him. So, yeah, novel, cigarette, weak, vitamins, pliers. We did pick up a pair of pliers already. Otherwise, I would have put everything to go down there. Even if it means doing a lot of combat. But no, we've got an exit. Let's use it. Getting a bit busy this tile for my liking. We've took all the good loot we need. Okay, not what I wanted to see. We're on a railroad. So those pliers are probably going to become useful a lot sooner than I thought. So you have 2 railroads on the map. One starts on the right-hand side and goes up towards Terminus. One starts on the left-hand side and goes up towards Terminus. And they both meet. Sometimes you have a tunnel, sometimes you don't. But you've always got 2 railway lines guaranteed. Now, we can't see any zombies. There is a still in front of me I want to go and collect. Because we know we need that for the ammo recipe. Got 12.6. If we climb over it, it's 11.2 with a chance of a sprain. But the pliers is 2 AP. So a massive difference. And extremely useful. Now, wire can be used for some recipes. A lot of the time I don't mess around. And now we're out of water again. Which is not great. We do have a little bit of water in the onions and in the corn. And we do still have one more energy drink as well we could use. Is it worth going back for the wire? I don't think it is. Let's move up a bit and see what zombies we've got present. Okay. We're going to have to back off a little bit. He can come up to me this turn. We need to find a northern exit off this map to keep us going towards Terminus. Still not got lucky with any AP items. And that's one of the easy ways for me to be able to get through the Terminus zone. Okay, another sleeping zombie's not great. As you see, his movement range if we wake him up. So we're going to have to wake him up either way. We've got to go past him. I'm still looking for a northern exit, and at the moment we haven't got one. But I do need to take this guy's body out, otherwise he's going to cause me problems. Might as well use the very weak knife spear, get out the way. Probably break, but that's fine. So now his attack is down to 0. His movements are massive. Oh, we've got a zone point. That's what I've been looking for. Fantastic. Can't get through this turn. We've only got 2.3 AP. So that's going to be a next turn thing. But we got very lucky with that. Getting onto a railway tile and managing to get away early game is really an advantage. Now, as you can see, the Nimble could get up to me, but he couldn't attack me because we took out his body. Okay, our first fortified house. We're going to have a look at the quest there, because we could get some good things through trading. And we did that in the previous run. We did a trading run and managed to get a shovel, which really helped us out. So we need to get to a door or a window. That's the third stone we need to make the hammer. Absolutely fantastic. We haven't got the wood at the moment to make it, but we're a long way from making a proper hammer. That stone hammer is a big thing. Something that I'm going to be crafting tonight. So we need to get to a door or a window to be able to transaction. So the first thing you want to do if you go to a fortified house is look at the quests. Maybe you've got the items they want. So what do they need? They need a novel now. We do have a novel. It will give us reputation, and we can use that reputation to trade for something. So it's going to give us 3 reputation. And they want a light source. If we'd have kept one of them weaker ones with 1 charge, we could trade them away. We could get a good amount of credit here. So if we did both these quests, oh, it's 2 light sources. That'll be everything we've got. I don't think it's worth it. We could actually, yes, I forgot we got the lighters, haven't we? 5 turns on a lantern or 7. Yeah, the lantern's better because it gives more range. So that's 7 trust reputation there. And then we'll give the novel away as well. Novels are fairly common. If not, we could probably find a Bible. Our morale's good at the moment, so I'm happy. We just managed to get 10 trust levels. That's fantastic. And that's 10th of the way to the finish of the trade house ending, which we're still yet to do. So we haven't got any backpacks. Fuel would be good if we find a car. Bags would definitely be good if they can give us like a backpack, like an hiking one. They've got a tent. You don't see these very often. But they do have it as overwhelmingly high, so it'd be hard for us to trade for something like that. They do have a skill book as well. They have batteries, which we could use for the lanterns. The steel pipes are very good weapons. Machete, we've got the recipe for the machete spear. So we've got a few options here for trading, but we don't have much stuff of value. Whatever we do, we just can't trade for that skill book. It's just too high of a value. But definitely the thread will help us out for repairing clothes. I'm happy with that trade. The morale book I'm not really worried about. 2 pieces of plastic and an electronic part for 20 thread and a wood glue. I think that's a pretty good deal. Still would love to get that thick book, but I just don't think there's any way I could get it. Not if they're giving something that's crucial to us. No, I think this is the best trade we're going to get. Got a load of thread now. We still need that wooden to make the stone hammer. Still got the 10 trust one, so what are we going to take? There's a lot of good things. Food would be good. Water would be good. Shortcut information could be good. I think backpack or melee weapon would be probably my best one. Normally I'd go with fuel always. Because if we find a car, they'll give us a tote bag. Okay, it's not the best bag. It's a shoulder bag. For 3, it's not that bad. Do I want to risk it again? I want a backpack more than anything else. I just think it's too tempting not to take the fuel. If we find a car, that could be a great way for us to skip tiles. Yeah, we've got 3 left. Let's spend another bag. Hopefully we get a bit more lucky with this one. Another tote bag. That's not bad. 2 shoulder bags. They're not the best shoulder bags, but they are the best, most common ones. The better ones are doubles. So currently we're at 16.8 and 1.2. We're down to 12.3 after equipping one. Put the second one on, we're down to 11.2 now. So we just saved over 5 kilos in weight and 0.1 AP. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is, because if you look in our bags now, we've still got 9.5 kilos free in the second one. I could take the fanny pack off now. I don't need it on there. If I desperately want cloth, I can break it down. Put our jacket back on because we couldn't do a trade of it. And we do have a full gas can, because if you do get a gas can off them, it's always full with 5 fuel in there. Now, the majority of the cars, that's probably 3 to 4 tiles. Something like a fire engine, it wouldn't even move you 1 tile. Oh, that's a bad way to go. Helmeted zombie, and unfortunately, trade house won't help you. There is one way you can do, and that is to attack a door or a window. It would get the trade people out there to fight any zombies on the tile, which we've used in previous runs. Yeah, we're just going from bad to worse at the moment. We can't get through the tile, so we need to go back south. I can't take out 2 armoured guys, so I need to back up. So we have a bit of a problem to the north, and we have a bit of a problem over to our east as well. So none of these zombies can get to me here. It takes 4.2 and 9 to zone. So as long as I wait 1 turn, I should be able to zone on the next one fairly easy. It's a risky take sometimes, so let's get our food and hydration sorted. Gives us a little bit of morale, which the morale would then give us a little more AP. Fortunately, out of water except for the energy drink, but I don't want to use that until I get down to 8 hydration. But happy about the 2 bags. Would have preferred a backpack, but a shoulder bag's better than nothing. And what did we have to give up? A lighter, a torch, and a novel. So that wasn't that much for that 10 reputation, and for that we managed to trade that for 2 bags and a full gas can. So I was happy with that trade. Let's go north. Let's hope for another house. A park. Okay, this isn't too bad. And another skill up. Great. So we've got Pathfinder. We know that's 10% to another. Bargaining's not going to be much use. If I'd have got that at all previously, we could have had some better trading. We might have been able to get the skill book. Pathfinder's 10% AP less to get to another place. We've probably only got to be like a dozen more tiles if we get lucky to get to Terminus. Max out our combat skill to level 3. An extra 50% damage. Means our spears should be over 4 damage each. No, we'll take Pathfinder. The combat ability is always going to be there. The next time we could have 2 bad ones like Edge Shots and Ariadne's Thread, and then we've got no other option. So yeah, I think the Pathfinder, less AP to zone. So instead of that last tile to get here would have been 9, now it would be 8.1. We do have quite a bit of empty bottles while I've been keeping them. Unfortunately, we didn't get the fishing rod from earlier. Couple of zombies on the tiles. But we need to find some exits. These are only crawling zombies, so they won't have the massive amount of movement. Biggest problem with this sort of tile is the zombies can hide in the trees. And it's really hard to spot them. So if you look to the south, that zombie, you could barely see him. It looks like blood stains by a tree, but there isn't. There's a zombie in there. So as you see, I'm going around every single tile checking for zombies because I've been caught out in the past. Just back up a bit so this guy can't get to me this turn, and I'll deal with him next turn when I've got a bit more AP. But we do have 2 northern exits, which are great for us. Keep travelling north means we're going towards Terminus. And we're already two-thirds of the way up the map. Now, we don't want to take the one out to the right-hand side because it's onto a dangerous zone. The one straight ahead, north, is the better of the 2 solutions. We still need to find out where Terminus is. We haven't found a radio. Now, we know the railway line runs from the south of us. So that makes me think that the Terminus is in the top left-hand corner. Not right in the corner, but somewhere up there. Okay, where did that zombie... Oh, he's in the tree line. Let's just zone out of here. Now, it would have been nice to go and collect that water, I'm pretty certain. I should have picked up the water. I could have just took that guy's body out and just took the water, but no. Let's keep moving. Unfortunately, we ended up on a grocery store, so we won't have much loot opportunities here. There is another survivor in the building, which can be very lucrative if this zombie can kill him. We might be able to pick the corpse and get some good items. Especially water and food, a lot of NPCs do carry that, which can be useful. But it's probably not worth the risk at this point. I haven't heard the zombie get killed. We have got loot on the floor. Nothing in the boxes. It is dirty water and we've got no water. So it is a good call to go in there and get it. Just constantly weighing up the pros and cons of every decision. One decision can cost a run. And in the last run, I had so many close calls in the last episode. I still think it was one of the best runs I've ever done with what I managed to survive. Let's pick up another stone. We never know when we need a second hammer. Now, we are 4 hours from the night. So we've got to make a decision. If we do want to stop here, we need planks to repair a door or window. Now, that bottle was only about half full. It is dirty, so it would give us a disease if we do it. But if we run our water all the way down, it can only ever prop one disease if I was to take the whole bottle. I'm still considering whether to go after that loot. Okay, there's a zombie come out the building, so that's fine. I think I'm going to go and have a check and see what that guy dropped. So there is an armoured zombie there. The knife is doing nearly up to 6 damage now, so it was the best solution, even though I have weird condition off it. Unfortunately, we got lucky with there. We had to do 2 hits. Now, I need that zombie to move off the tile, so let's go and pick up the wood. We know we need it for the ammo recipe. We know we need it for spears. Now, nothing around. Okay, we have got a street light and a gas map down there. That's unexpected. But we need a street map because then we can start planning our route. So I've got to risk, but just look at all the stuff that guy dropped. This is why it was worth the risk coming back for it. Sandwiches, chocolate bar, AP item. That's what I desperately need to get through Terminus. Morale drugs. A lot of good weapons, a lot of good knives. The fire extinguisher is a good weapon. Lots of cloth I can break down. Wood glue. Meatballs I've never really used. But he was just full up with so much good stuff. Okay, we're up to 1.3 AP, which isn't bad. A lot of my runs I run around with about 1.6 AP cost. But I need to get that street map. Oh, there's a nice plank of wood to the just here as well, so that would be nice to pick up. But yeah, lighter gas and the street map is just fantastic. Go and pick up the wood. Okay, so there's a lot of zombies out to the right-hand side. I've just seen 3. There's 1 there, and then there's 2 just to the north of it. You can see the little red circles popped as we went past. Unfortunately, we're in the position now where it's only 2 hours to night. So it was a big risk we've just took. Now, we do have some torches. Now, this is what I didn't want to happen. I think I've still got a way out. I think I can get round it. But zombies can surround you. Very easily. Still want to go and get that dirty water up there. And it's saying there's no possible path because both these zombies are blocking and I can't walk at a diagonal. Well, it's not allowing me to, but yeah, fire extinguisher does 8 to 10 damage. It's just fantastic. Great weapons. It's something a lot of people ignore. Steel pipes are probably one of the best weapons in the game. And we've got a good amount of knives we could just throw away. Now, for me to clear a route out, I've got to take the legs out so I can pick the head up. Then I want to dump the head because it weighs 4.5 kilos. then that gives me a route out. Trying to stand in the corner so people that haven't seen me can't see me through a window. Very, very risky to try and sleep here. We've only got one plank, so we can't repair the window and the door in the next room up. Otherwise, that would have been my call. Go into that room. Very risky to sleep here. But we've got a street map, so at least we can plan a route out of here. So I'm looking around for a 2. If I can't get a 2, I'll use 4 AP for 1. Okay, so we've got a grocery store. I'm looking for the next... Okay, so there's a 2 up here. Around the 7-8 mark. Let's take the next 4. We've got an house, but we've got no connection from us to that house. Which is not good. Okay, we're not getting lucky of finding a connection. So it's about 5.5 and we haven't got enough AP to do it, so I'm going to need to pass the turn. Just trying to cut my weight down as best as possible, but I'll probably be better off just breaking them bags down for the cloth. Now, the only good thing in our favour, we did this in a previous run. I'm in a corner. I don't like to be in corners. But there's only a maximum of 4 zombies that can stop on a tile. So we can use that to our advantage slightly. I just don't like to be in a corner where I could be in a situation where I've got to kill a zombie to get through. So let's try and find the best one. I think it's around 5 I can pick it up for. 4.9, 4.8. That's perfect. I need a link. Not the ideal link. So I've got to go to electronic store. Then I can get 2 houses. It's probably a link on the other side. Okay. We can go to the hardware store and an house. That is the quickest route to go north. 9.6 up there. Trying to plan my route now so I've got options. I know which direction I'm heading in. It is 10 o'clock, so I do need to think about sleeping. But I still have that energy drink as a backup. A 3 for 10. Very rarely you'll find 3 in one little search. 3.9.7, that's a fantastic cost. House, gas station and library. So we have a good way up until about the centre of the map. We still need to find out where Terminus is. That's our big problem. We can get a 7 over here somewhere, but it's only a 1. Oh, actually, there's a 2 just there. A 6.5. Okay, so we've got a good idea of what's in front of us. And there's going to be one that's going to connect that house and the grocery store. But that was good work finding that street map. Just trying to match up so I've got all the routes in front of me. Getting a lot of AP I've just spent on here. I should have really been crafting the hammer if I thought about it. So yeah, electronic store to an house. Or we could go... well, the house in the middle is pointless going to. So the easiest way is the electronic store to the house because it's away from the dangerous zone. If I go the hardware store, pharmacy, then I've got 2 tiles I won't be able to loot. And then both next to dangerous zone. So again, too much of a cost. I've got to go left. Now, I do like denim jackets because the denim jackets are always very high. Might as well break down all these to get a lot of cloth. We are going to be needing it. We could break down weapons, but I think that's a bad idea. But it would give us the steel to be able to make the better hammer. Let's just make the stone one for now. It's better having a hammer than nothing. Now, we did just spend a lot of AP on the map. Some of that could have been very, very useful. But we do need to sleep now. Our stats are looking bad across the board. Okay, so one of the zombies did manage to get in here, even though it was a good way away from him. So we are going to have to use a torch and do combat on this turn. Now, luckily, he's done no HP damage to me. And he hasn't given me a bleed on there, so that's fine. So let's turn on our torch and see what we're dealing with. Use a smaller one. Could have gone very bad, that could have. One hit could take out his body quite easily. Just want to use the weakest of the knives, which is that 1.4. Could probably do it with a spear. Slight chance of fail, but it was worth the risk. So there's 2 on that tile now, so at the most 2 more can only zone on there. Spend the AP on the hammer while I'm awake, and let's try and go back to sleep again. Because we can see the zombies, it won't let us sleep until the torch effect goes away next turn. Then it will allow me to sleep now. But we might as well spend on, get the hammer done. We are going to need hydration, so we're going to have to use that bottle. But we do have a good amount of bottles. Still think we should have stopped at the park, but I think we was just in too much problems. We needed to zone. Morale's looking good, so that will give us a little bit more AP. And we'll sleep off, and that will top off our energy, which will give us more AP as well. So yeah, max morale, max energy. So Tyres is not looking great. But we do have food, it's just I don't want to waste it. The morale on it. Okay, so it's 5 o'clock, it's light on the next day. We might as well spend our extra AP on the book. Brilliant. So we're starting the day on 20. 6 o'clock in the morning. Now we've got the daylight in front of us. Coming to the park is going to be the best option. We've got lots of bottles of water. We need to... Unfortunately, we have no pot and pan to cook it. That's our biggest problem at the moment. But even taking dirty water and getting a disease is better than no water at all and taking HP damage all the time. So yeah, we've got to come and fill it. We just need to check to make sure these zombies are not about still. Can't see anything in either of them trees. And without an axe, we can't break down the park benches, so we can't get the planks from there. There is a guy to the left who's a nimble. He should really be asleep, to be quite honest. I don't know why he's up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Let's fill up all the bottles. He's only going to cost 6 AP. Might just have to waste the AP. I just need food. So yeah, we'll just take the sandwich. Fill all the bottles. It will put a bit more encumbrance on us and a bit more weight because of the weight of all the bottles. But that will give us about 4 to 5 days water. Like I said, would be great to cook it, but we haven't got a pot or a pan. And I don't think there's any way of making makeshift pots and pans. Not with the recipes we've got. Like I said, the best way to use your water is just before bed. Use your water. Get your disease 3 hours before you sleep. Sleep off the disease that you get from the dirty water. And then you deal with your hydration. 1 bottle is about a day, which is about 24 water you need in a day. Just looking at the other options. Because we know the grocery tile's not great to us above us, I'm thinking about going a different route. Is there a link up to the electronic store? No. There is probably a link from that house to the but it would be going to... Yeah, it's not worth the risk. Go back on the tile. We know it's going to be busy. Keep away from the dangerous zone. And try not to prolong us with extra movement. Okay, the zombies aren't in the immediate vicinity. But a lot of the zombies here we did maim. So them running around with 0 attack. We could do with spending a little bit of AP because we're going to be full on the next turn otherwise. Just double checking the rackings. We don't need to go after that dirty water anymore because we've just filled up 5 bottles of dirty water. Another stone next to us. It would go a long way to making another hammer. 2/3 the way. It might be worth going after it. Let's pass a turn. Never go off your zone point if you haven't got AP, because people can zone through. Now this is an electronic store, so it's not really going to give us anything. Oh, small flashlight and a battery. We're getting very lucky with these special tiles. Get our AP back before we move on. 19.9. I don't desperately need the battery. I've got a couple of torches. He can only move once, so we're safe. We don't need to rush through on this turn, but it would only give us 3 AP on the other side, while 2.9 to go into an house. It's a bit of a risk. That's not what I want to see. But we've got just enough AP to get away. I should have waited one more turn, but I just want to keep moving. Again, another attack going on, so there's another NPC on here. Like before, the ideal solution would be is if the NPC dies, he gets us loads of loot. That loot from the last one gave us so many weapons, we're still using them. So we got very lucky with that one. It's a starving elder, he doesn't have much loot. He doesn't have food and water because he's a starving elder, he won't be starving otherwise. We do want to go not to that house, we need to go out to the gas station really, is the safest point. Might be nice to go and take this guy out on the right so he's not a problem. There's 2 big guys on the left, I don't want to go near them, so I've got to go north. Not what I wanted to see, too many people. Okay, 2 of them can only move 1. Got 4 AP. Neither one of them people could get to me, so that's fine. A lot of zombies here. A lot come out the building I couldn't see. We are taking HP damage. That's from the lack of hydration at the moment. Trying to find a route through and the easiest route. Let's take some of these people's attack out so they're no longer an issue to me. It's just too many people. If I don't start thinning it out, we could end up with like 10 people surrounding us, all with the ability to attack. Okay, wooden spear broke, but that's fine. We've got the second one. And we've still got 3 knives and a steel pipe to use as well. But I'm just ecstatic about finding that AP item. That is going to be saving us. Got some meat up there, what could give us a disease, but it would give us a good amount of satiety. We're down to just 2 pieces of corn now, so I haven't got a lot of food. I desperately need to find a pot or a pan. Now all these zombies are coming up, but at the maximum that could be on that tile next to me would be 4. Not worth staying around it. It would be nice to go and loot the house, to be honest. No, there's just way too much here. I can't deal with all this. 7 to the right, 1 in the building, 2 to the left. That's a lot of... It looks like there's a car just to the south of us. You can see just the edge of the car. 2 tiles below that zombie, but again, I would have to take a lot of powerful people out to have a chance. So yeah, that's a car there. You can see the bumper of it. We do have the fuel, but we don't have a spanner. So if the car's not working, we've got no way of repairing it. Let's pass a turn and see where everybody goes to, and then I'll make my decision what I'm going to do. But ideally in this situation, looking at what that car is would be the best situation. And I have seen cars with spanners many times inside them, as you would expect. I've got an easy way out. Now, let's take this big guy out. We've got a good selection of weapons. We might as well use them. 3 on the steel pipe and it's not broke, so that's great. We can knock out some of the weaker knives. He can't attack me, 0 attack. I would need to move down 1, take out the next guy. Let's go switch to the pipe. Down to 8, I'm going to have to use the pipe again. So he's no problem. There's a 2.2 there I could do with a spear without moving. So the 3 on the left can't attack me. We're still on 0 zombie kills. There's one in the building that can still have an attack power. And all the ones to the right, I'm pretty certain I've already took all their attack out. Let's just pass a turn, see where everybody goes to. But as you see, they are crowding me now. That's not what I wanted. So I'm going to have to do something about the police officer. Now, luckily that pipe we found had good condition on there. I've still got about another 3 more attacks in it. Now, everybody on that square is all 0. The ones to the north are 0. The ones to the left are 0. And the one to the south is 0. Okay, it's allowing me to get out. And then we've got another 2 to fight. Switch down to a knife. Can I get the other guy with a spear from this direction, or have I got to move? No, it's allowing me to do, but it would be a 2 attack, so that's fine. Let's see what's in the truck and see if it works. It's not broke. 3.9 fuel economy means that gas tank is only going to give me 1 turn. But there was some gas in the vehicle. Aluminium bat in there as well. 2 turns is the library. It's not ideal. I was hoping a bit more efficient car than this. But beggars can't be choosers. Makeshift pillow. Just looking at what else is around on the floor. Nothing much. Still got that meat that's about to rot. I'm still thinking about whether to take it or not. We are coming into night in a few hours, so I need to get onto an house tile. The thing is, on this zone, we've took out a lot of the stuff already. We might as well go and loot it. Everybody can't really do much. Okay, we come across another fat zombie. Spoke too soon. What have we got? Fresh potato and a pizza. That's food. Okay, the meat's rotten, so we might as well drop it on the floor now. We might as well take the water. We're going to go to sleep soon. So if a disease does proc, it'll proc about 8 PM. Let's go and take this guy in the corner. Should have done with closing the window to stop anybody else from getting in. Let's put the wood glue on our best weapon, which is the steel pipe. It would have been better to craft it into a repair kit. Even the basic repair kit would have given me 6 recharges. But I just can't have this weapon breaking while I need to take this guy out. 6.8. Only a small chance with the aluminium bat. 5 extinguisher. No, that's not doing it. Shovel. I did forget I picked up the shovel off the guy earlier. So he can't do anything to me now. I need to get that refrigerator. Food, glorious food. Let's pick up the plank while I'm here as well, because we're running a bit low at that. Now, the problem I've got is you've just seen it there. He's blocked up the door to the north. Everybody else is blocking up the side to the west of me. I needed to move outside the window on that turn, which I didn't do. That fat zombie won't move now. So now I've got to put in more cost into keeping these zombies down. Yeah, the door's blocked up as well. So yeah, the only option I've got is I've got to take this guy's legs out. Give up one of my precious cloth. And I've got to stand in that doorway and hopefully nobody blocks the door from the other side. Down to 2 cloth. If I need to, I can break down all the bags. We've got a good amount of weapons, but we are slowly getting through them. 4 times scope for a gun. We still haven't found a gun. The one knife's about to break. We've got some good condition on the aluminium bat. Got a good amount of scrap. If I'd have thought about it, I should have put the gas into the vehicle when I was next to it. But we didn't really have the AP to burn. So let's move standing in the doorway so nobody else can block that door. But they could still block it to the north of me. Let's eat the pizza. So society's looking pretty good now. I didn't need to resort to having that rotten food. Might as well take the potato. That will help out our morale as well. Yeah, I think I need to break down these. I need enough cloth on me. Still tempted to make that makeshift armour, but A pot or a pan is what I really need more than anything else. I could boil all that water. It could be all clean. Because we have lost 5 AP at the moment. Sorry, 5 health we've lost. Let's just use the seeds, get them out. But that adrenaline shot, I cannot use it. I need to save that for Terminus. Now, the thing is, if you look around us, you will see there's no railway tiles. So it's definitely to the left of the centre point, Terminus, in that corner. We do have the vehicle. We could use it. It does work. But it will be the morning that will. There it is. We got the disease from the dirty water, but that was to be expected. Now, we know there's a lot of people running around with 0 attack damage. So 4 can go to the south of me, 4 can go to the left of me. Which I think I've took 8 out without me having to waste cloth. And then all I've got to deal with is through the door in the morning. I should have really closed the window though. But it was broken, so it wouldn't have stopped it. And I can't sleep at the moment until it's dark because I can see zombies next to me. Still got a little bit of morale and satiety at the top there. So we've still got another 12 satiety, which is half a day's food. Got a good amount of weapons, but we are quite high. Let's break down the weakest one. We don't need them all. That will give me a little bit of steel. Good amount of lighters. It's normally you pick up the pots without the lighters. 5 still. It's a long way to make the other hammer. We could look to the south of the dangerous zone because we know I'm going to have to go up that side either way. We could find a couple of railroads. So we found the railroad now. So it has a thought. It's definitely up in the left-hand side. So we've only got one option from here, and that's the house northwest of us. Let's see what else is the other side of the dangerous zone. Let's get some AP back. Okay, it has gone dark now, which is great, so I can't see the zombies, so we could sleep now if we want to. We need 6 hours sleep to get rid of that disease. We could pop the antibiotics, but it's pointless when I'm about to sleep anyway. Let's see if I can find that 2 again. Two for 7.9. 2 houses. So I'm trying to find out where the railroads go to. So I need more AP to do anything with that. We can pass the turn without overcapping the AP, but that's fine. Do another street map. Let's try and find out exactly where the railroad meets Terminus if we can. We had a 2 over here for about 10 point something. 10.3. Can I get any cheaper? No. There, 10.3. We're going to have to take it. So yeah, the railroad's going all the way up. So Terminus is probably by the second road across in the top north. Like it has been in previous runs, the route I've chose to get up because it's the safest has always been the wrong side of the map to where the Terminus is. But those houses are very tempting to go and visit. But the problem is I'm right next to dangerous zones. So it won't be a fun time going there. Let's just spend the AP on the Pathfinder book. And let's just sleep until the status is healed. So at least we'll get 6 hours sleep. And I think this is a great place to call this episode. So we've managed to find a fairly safe place. There's a lot of zombies around us, but we've maimed them all so they can't get to us. Get a bit of sleep and then we can do the final push towards Terminus. We know we've still got a bit of travel in front of us, with Terminus being up in the top left. So hopefully we'll all return next week and hopefully we can complete this run, finally, get out done before the new update. But thank you very much everybody for watching. I'll see you all in the next episode.